New Zealand is a rather small country, about the size of Great Britain, found right off the southeast coast of Australia. New Zealand is divided into two islands, the South Island and the North Island. The North Island is particularly rich in Maori culture, which is becoming more and more important to New Zealand. For it was the Maori people, the native people of New Zealand, who were the first to arrive on and populate New Zealand. They are said to have arrived around the year 1250 to 1300. Their language is a very old one and is not similar to any other language spoken today. Now only approximately 15% of the 4.5 million population are Maori, 11% of which speak this native language. Most New Zealanders today speak English. This, of course, is due to the fact that New Zealand is a former British colony. It was the British explorer James Cook who sighted the island in 1769, and he then mapped almost its entire coastline. New Zealand then went from first becoming part of the new British colony of New South Wales to later in 1841 being separated from that and becoming a separate colony. The land was pushed around, well, not literally, for a few hundred years, and then finally, in 1974, adopted the Statute of Westminster Act. This was an act of Parliament that formally gave the country full external autonomy from Britain. The New Zealand accent is similar to the British accent and even more similar to the Australian accent. When it comes to New Zealand accent, many people claim that there are three basic things that separates it and makes it sound different from British English or Australian. First, I can mention the speed that some New Zealanders tend to talk at, which can make the comprehension even harder for foreigners.
I'm going to R&V, I think I told you that once before, and I'm filming there.
Then there are the word endings, who can, because of the difference, easily make non-similar words sound similar. And then the vowels. The vowels are not as easy to distinguish as in the British English. Use and I sound almost identical. This makes some words hard to tell apart. This also goes for use and double O's.
The main issue with vowel sound is merging of sounds. Examples include full and fill, dole and dole, pull and pull, really and rarely, as well as Allen and Allen.
There isn't that much difference between British grammar and spelling and New Zealand grammar and spelling. You only really notice the difference when you hear New Zealanders speak. But in the vocabulary you can mark some differences. The New Zealanders share some special words with the Australians. For example, they also use the characteristic Australian g'day. The New Zealanders call themselves Kiwis, and Kiwis, of course, can also refer to both the flightless bird and the fruit, which is mostly what we Norwegians think of when we hear the word kiwi. And what a greater place to end! Bye bye!